some vices, and I guess that's my bad one left. I don't really drink. I drink occasionally on special occasions a little bit, or with my mom a little bit, because she drinks way too much. Kind of worry about that with her memory. But, it is what it is. And then might have a puff of pot when I'm camping by myself. I think I took a puff of pot when Teddy and I were in Montana, and I had a little shot of whiskey at the campground.
Nice.
And he looked at me and he goes, "Geez, John, I thought you quit." And I said, "I never told you I quit." I go, I
You
just,
just stopped
I just
habitually.
stopped, and I really
Yeah.
don't do either stuff in the last 5 years. And my life is better off with me being clear-headed,
Yeah.
really. And so I'm happy with everything. So, but it doesn't mean that occasionally, if I have a puff, I know I'm not a pot addict, because that was over like 7 years ago. So I can have a little puff and I get really high just on a little tiny puff,
Yeah.
and I don't need anything for the rest of the day. And my college buddy Chris Linder, when we did the basketball thing in March, he's still smoking a lot of it, but his wife doesn't think he smokes it anymore. So he smokes behind her back.
Oh, that's
And
not
he's,
good.
yeah, so he's deceiving her. And he looks at me and he goes, "Don't tell her." And I go, "It's none of my business. You do what you want." And then he goes, "Don't you want some more? All you had was a little tiny little quarter little puff." And I go, "I'm high as a kite and it doesn't affect me the way it used to." I go, "It's not fun
I
for me."
must get that from you because I started reacting the same way
It's like,
where I would smoke because I used to smoke a bunch
yeah,
and it would take me at least like a full bowl of weed
yeah,
to make
right.
me like really high.
You go through an eighth like in 3 days.
But
In
then,
college, that's what we were smoking it. Like we're smoking it all day long, and
yeah,
like Eddie is now. Uncle Eddie smokes pot all day long. In the morning, every half hour, he's smoking pot. And I go, "Ed, I go, here's the problem. You're my brother, so I'm not going to harp on you too much. I don't care that you're smoking weed, but I go, you're smoking and you got health problems. So what do you think that's doing to your lungs when you're smoking it every half hour?" I go, "It's carcinogens. You say your breathing's not good. You're having heart problems. You're having blood pressure." And I go, "Well, that's smoke because you're doing it so much. If you were just doing a little tiny bit here and there, that would be
yeah,
better. But you're smoking it all the time, and
yeah, it's
that's
not
not
good.
it's not good for you to do it that much." Somebody drinking all the time is like drinking a half gallon of booze like Tim Jump used to do every day. He goes, "I can't stop myself. I need a half gallon a day." And I go, "That freaking kill me because I'm not an alcoholic."
Didn't Tim pass away too?
He passed away, and
Wasn't
he
he like
basically
wasn't he like
died.
slightly older than you?
He's younger than me
Oh,
by
dang.
about a couple of years younger than me, and he passed away at 56. And
Damn.
Seth passed away at 56.
Damn.
And Seth was a raging alcoholic. And basically, the sad thing is, and I know Cassidy's, on AA, so I don't talk about this stuff anymore because that kind of gets her worked up. And because I
Yeah.
can't have an opinion on what I feel. I feel sad because between you and me, not going any further, just you and me talking, father and son, I've lost so many of my friends from alcoholism
Yeah.
that have basically gotten a car wreck, or they drowned in the river because they were drunk, or
Or like
they
stroke
just
or like liver like
kept drinking
yeah.
themselves, and they couldn't stop. So they isolated, like Seth. Jerry thought, he had diabetes, so it was a heart problem for him. But Seth, at the end, didn't see anybody, and he found his whole living room of his condo was full of half-gallon booze containers that he couldn't even throw in the garbage anymore. It was hundreds of bottles all over. And they
Yeah.
found him at the bottom of the stairs, and Jerry goes, "Well, he probably had a heart attack," but I didn't say anything because I didn't want to upset Jerry, my stepfather, and I love him. He was an alcoholic, but he lived to be 85, but I'm surprised he lived as long as he did because he
Yeah.
guzzled down the booze like water. Well, that's the worst, some of the worst thing you can do. It'll pickle all your organs,
Yeah.
and it'll just slowly just eat you from the inside out. So anyway, But he looked at me and then he goes, then your mom asked me about Seth. She goes, you think it was a heart problem? And I go, they found him at the bottom of the stairs. So what happened is he probably passed out because he drank every night.
Yeah.
Passed out, fell down the stairs, landed wrong at the bottom. Like some of my college buddies, they said same thing. Oh, they probably had this and that. Well, put two and two together. If you're drinking alcohol and you're drinking, you can't stop, and you black out and you pass out in a bad spot, like at the top
Yeah,
of
I
the
mean,
stairs.
yeah, he probably like
You're
snapped his neck or
yeah, that's
something.
probably what
Yeah.
happened to him.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell that to Jerry.
No.
Because
No.
because I didn't want to make him feel worse. I kept it to myself. But I've lost so many friends from alcohol. It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I've seen alcoholics in my family growing up when I was a kid. A lot of my aunts and uncles that had battles with it, and it did not make them a better person. It made them worse.
Yeah, I don't think it really doesn't make anybody better.
Well, it's a depressant, so you can kind of, if you're kind of whatever, you can have a couple drinks and to be social. That's the way I looked at it at my frat house. I would have a couple drinks, or when I go down to see grandma, she'll pour me like one little shot of whiskey, and so I feel pretty good, but I'm not an alcoholic. And then she'll go, do you want another drink? And I go, no. And she goes, I've noticed something about you. You don't hardly drink at all. But you'll have like one shot with me. And I go, yeah, to be sociable. But see, an alcoholic can't stop.
Yeah.
They want to keep drinking and drinking.
That's how I was with drinking. I'd drink and I'd be like, oh yeah, this is nice, and then I'd
You
be like,
keep
oh,
drinking.
and then it's like I instantly just want more.
Right. So that's what you got to be careful, because your mom's dad was an alcoholic, and that runs in the family line. So you realize that now. So you can now that you really don't drink anymore. Occasionally, if you were with your guy friends and you had like a shot of whiskey at a small little party with your friends, I don't think that's going to do anything. I can do it, but I'm not the type where I have to keep drinking and drinking to impress anybody.
Well, I think I got mom's side, so I just choose not. I don't drink at all. I haven't had a drop to drink since. It's been 4 years now.
Good.
Because I quit August of
But
2021.
remember the lie when you're a teenager that you think that you got to smoke pot to have fun. Without pot, it's not fun. Or if you don't have drinks, it's not fun with your friends. When you get older in your 30s, your 20s are your teenage years and your early 20s, kind of like you're partying a lot. I did, your mom did, we all did. But the thing is, you get to a point where you get older and you fish out the trash in your life and you realize, I've pretty much been sober now for the last 7 years. And
Yeah.
you know what? I play basketball. I used to play high all the time when I played basketball. The last 10 years, I don't. And guess what? I like myself clear.
Yeah.
But I can have a puff of pot occasionally when I'm usually not by your mom, because that'll freak her out. I can't take a drink of a little tiny bit of whiskey because she flips out on me.
Yeah, sure.
But I'll do it with some of my friends, and they'll look at me and they go, do you want another one? And I go, no, I don't. And if I'm at a party with some people, like Amy offered me a half a beer, she goes, I don't have any bourbon. And I go, well, that's my favorite, but I don't really have to have any. She goes, come on, we haven't seen you in like 20 years. And so I said, okay, to be social, I had like a half a beer. And what did it do to me? It made me all gassy because I don't drink beer.
Yeah.
And it made me all gassy and feeling like not very good. And I didn't drink hardly anything, but it upset my stomach.
Yeah.
I don't like carbon dioxide,
Yeah.
pop, or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't drink pop anymore.
Yeah, you've always been a whiskey guy. Oh, I have a funny story about the very first time I had booze. I snuck into your bottle of early times. It was me and Carlos was spending the night. So it was me, Carlos, and Teddy, and we
And
were
you
all.
poured water in the
I
bottle.
poured water into the bottle because I
To
thought
make
you
it
wouldn't
look good,
notice, and of
and then
course
I
you
did.
didn't, and then you did absolutely. But I took the bottle and I poured some in a cup, and I think I was passing it around me, Carlos, and Ted, and then
That's good stuff.
that night we were
It
in
hits you
because
quick.
we had been hanging out in my bedroom,
Right.
and we were just being rambunctious, but also
Right.
kind of quiet because mom was like asleep under
Yeah,
us,
you
right?
don't want to wake her up and have her scream at you.
Yeah, but
You're being silly.
here's the kicker,
Uh,
or actually no, this isn't even the kicker, but this was a funny side note. Mom had bought Kool-Aid mix, but not just the mix. It's like the pre-mix where it comes with the sugar, like it's the powder, but it's the powder flavor and the sugar mix. It's like the big tub of it, where all you do is add water and it's good to go. And when after me, Ted, and Carlos had been drinking, I brought the big tub of Kool-Aid into our room, and I brought us all a bunch of straws, and we were sucking the sugar, like the mix, out of the cup. We were like sucking and like eating some of the Kool-Aid, but we were blowing it out in the air like big Kool-Aid clouds and stuff, and we were all like, and then that's when I told Teddy to spray paint my wall. And so he spray painted a bunch of stuff on
yeah,
my
I
bedroom
remember
wall.
coming home and seeing.
And then I
was
remember I was hungover and I
Right.
woke up super early before you guys were even
like, right.
around. And I remember I freaked out and I remember you guys like maps. So I grabbed some of your old maps and I just taped a bunch of maps on my
Nice.
wall over
Nice.
it. But mom walked in and she could smell paint fumes.
She knew.
I think we fell asleep in the paint fumes and stuff too. And then she was like, "Oh my God, you guys
So,
spray
I
painted
guess
the
my
wall."
point is, when you're teenagers, you got peer pressure with your friends. You
Yeah.
go out, you know, you party with them. You're not legal, but you get caught by the police. We all went through those phases, and so that's fine. That's called being young. And then my mom finally got the confession out of me. She had asked me on Vashon Island when I was 21. I picked magic mushrooms, and I read the book, and I took them, and it's like LSD kind of, you know.
Yeah,
pretty
hallucinogenic,
close,
yeah.
pretty close. So I took some mushrooms, and then my sister brought in these worms from underneath the marina, and I thought I was down from the trip, but I was still having a little bit of it.
Okay.
And so she looked at me, and Heidi looked at me, and she goes, "You've taken something. Your eyes are all black, and I can't see your blue eyes anymore." And I looked at her, and I go, she goes, "Look at these worms." And they were crawling, and I was kind of hallucinating, and I was looking at the worms, and
So it
and
looked
I go,
all
"I'm not feeling that well." And then she ran upstairs,
and told
I'm
on you.
21 years old, right? And I'm down in my little closet. That was my room, because Heidi had the bedroom, and I had my weight room and my stereo. And I'm living in this little closet thing, and mom comes running down and says, "Your sister says you took hallucinogenic mushrooms." She goes, "Let me look at you." And I'm hiding my thing. And it was the most embarrassing thing. I'm 21 years old, and then all of a sudden I pull them down. She goes, "Oh my God, your eyes are completely black. You're on something." And I said, "No, I'm just not feeling well." And I put the sheet over, and I go, "I got the flu bug." And
Oh,
she,
man.
She just left it alone, but it was really awkward. And so for decades and decades and decades, now that mom's in her 80s, she just said, "Tell me the truth. You can tell me now, because I'm 80 and you're 60." She goes, "What was the deal that day?" And I go, "I'll come straight with you. I took magic mushrooms." She goes, "Why would you ever do that?" She's from an era that, you know.
Yeah, it's all evil.
My dad.
Yeah, it's all.
Never, ever.
Yeah.
Right? And then I looked at her and I go, "Mom, remember your Uncle Frank was a psychologist, your brother Frank, my uncle, was a psychologist." And that's what I was studying in Washington State University that I did well in. And I really enjoyed the classes. And I thought, if I ever become an amateur psychologist or whatever, I could never help anybody with that without knowing what the experience was. Because I'm young, I'm in college, and so during those days, I was experimenting with certain things like the magic mushrooms. I was curious, and I knew, and it was okay when I was younger, because you're young, right? You got your whole life ahead of you. And then she goes, "Why did you not do it later on?" And I go, "Because it didn't apply to me. I mean, that's all fantasy stuff, and it was fun to kind of do that when I'm young and I had no responsibilities. But as soon as I became a father for you guys, and even before that, when I got out at the post office, I was retired from all that stuff. And I had some of my friends go, "Hey, let's take mushrooms like we did back in college." Some of my college buddies.
Oh, man.
And I look at them and I go, "No, I'm retired from all that." And they go, "Really? And how come?" And I go, because now that I'm older, it wouldn't be the same like when I was younger. I would probably become paranoid and depressed about things. And I was innocent when I was young.
Yeah.
And then when you get older, you realize that it's all set up to where you work, 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 work. And what do you really get? You just barely survive. So you might as well try to have a little fun in your life. Enjoy your
Yeah.
life. You know, it's hard, but you go through the serious times, which is most of your life, and then there's times where you got to cut loose and, you know, laugh with your friends and be silly and be kind of retarded, and it's fun. You know, it's called being human. You got to mix it up a little bit. You know. I think your mom's stuck in the phase now where she's just so uptight about everything. And I was just like, well, I don't want to be.
I like that word of advice, Dad. Just be retarded and have some fun.
Have some fun, yeah. It is fun. Yeah. Yeah, Maggie, that's true. Sometimes you just gotta let it go and just be retarded. Just have a little fun. Be silly. You just gotta be silly. You can't cry all the time. You've already done enough of that today.
I
So
know.
you can
God,
laugh.
she was crying like
Well, see,
wild.
they get a colic like you and your brother did, and there's no definition of why that happens. And Teddy went through it, you went through it, and you guys were crying all day, all night,
Oh God.
and you guys wouldn't stop. No matter what your mom and I did, it didn't work, just like what she was doing. And
Oh,
they call
man.
that colic, but there's no reason. Part of the reason is she's got teeth cutting.
Yeah.
And
I'm worried about the
parent-
teeth.
Cassidy first told your mom, oh no, we're not using that children's Ambisol because that's something that numbs out and it's got to be 100% natural. And it's like, well, they wouldn't sell it for babies if it was baby stuff. It's real mild. But
Sure.
it just kind of numbs the gums because it hurts. Those teeth are cutting through the gums and they're
Yeah, it's gotta hurt. It
so
kind
the
of.
little teething ring that your mom remembered, she goes, well, let's just get the teething rings that are kind of cold in the refrigerator, and that helped you guys too, because it kind of reduces the swelling of the gums when the teeth are coming through.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah, life's kind of weird that way, but you do what you can. It'll get better for you guys. This first year there's no way around it. The world stops spinning. You kind of just go, geez, I could use more sleep. I'm just like a
I feel like I'm
zombie.
gonna sleep like I'm dead.
Yeah, right. Well,
Like,
when you do sleep,
When
and
we go
you're
to,
able
I think when we go to Hawaii, I'm just gonna sleep like an absolute corpse. Because no baby to worry about, I can just sleep. I feel like I'm still gonna be on edge. I think my brain's not gonna be adjusted enough, and I'm still gonna think like there's a baby around. Still wake up every couple hours.
No, your father's advice, and this is just between you and me, don't tell women or anything. Just have lots of sex and never leave the room except for getting a glass of water and go out to the beach, which is right next to your hotel. Go snorkeling, have a little fun, enjoy your time with her, come back to the room, have more sex, and then just pass out.
Yeah.
And sleep and enjoy that whole week and get caught up and get refreshed and come back to her.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what
That's
you
good
do.
advice.
That's
good
your
advice.
my advice for you. You go out, you guys go out to dinner, you guys go to your luau, go out and snorkel, which is right in front of your hotel. The best snorkeling in the world is right there. You don't have to go out far. You can go out like waist deep,
Yeah.
and you can have your little mask and
Kind
your
of afraid
snorkel.
of, I'm kind of afraid of the water, but I do it like, shallow.
No, if you're shallow, you'll see all the fish going in about waist deep water. So you guys don't have to go. What I don't want you guys is swimming out there because the currents, they look tame, but if they take you away, you got nowhere to go. You're out in the middle of the Pacific.
Yeah.
Even though the water's warm. So, but you just stay by the beach in the real shallow water. You can get down there in like 2 feet of water and you'll see all the colorful fish and you'll have
Yeah.
fun. And you keep it that way safe. And then you guys go out to dinner, pay for the luau. You got to do that. Your first time to Hawaii, have the guys with the fire sticks and they're spinning around with their little things and they got their little outfits on, the hula dancers and stuff. And that's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah, that is fun.
That
We were
is
gonna
fun.
do that. We were kind of gonna do something not that, but
Well, they
That
all
was the
have it
idea
at the hotel.
in
You got
Mexico.
to pay a little extra money, but it's worth it for whatever, a couple $100. You guys do that. Have the luau. Have them do the little dance. That's perfect Hawaii. We
Yeah.
did that when you were there. We did that before had the luau thing.
Yeah.
But you guys were pretty young, and then we
Wait,
had,
in 2007,
yeah,
we
And-
did the luau thing.
yeah.
Where?
It was at the, well, actually, it was we didn't have the fire thing, but we had the real Hawaiian luau for you from Dean's uncle. And the family put on the real deal for us.
Oh, the big like
The big pig,
the pig
and all
out.
the food. Yeah, they did it.
Not the dancing though.
No, they
we
didn't do
didn't-
the dancing part, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you went another time for that.
Well, we went there
'Cause I
when
don't
the
remember.
first time my parents paid for the luau show for us when I was 15.
yeah,
So
that's awesome. We were gonna do that in
But
Mexico.
I think you guys definitely have to do it. Yeah, but you got double crossed on that cruise.
Yeah, and it's freaking Carnival. They
Didn't show up.
They don't do proper maintenance on their cruise ships. So
I
they
like
just
the
sent
guy
out. They
thrown
sent
in
out this.
jail on your ship.
Yeah, the guy who went to jail because he punched a bride, like a freshly married bride.
Oh, that's awful.
He was like this gay dude who punched a freshly married bride in the face. So they put him in boat jail. And then there was another psycho lady who was on the rooftop. She was looking for a seat, and this family had reserved the seat. She's like, that's stupid. And she was really drunk, and she threw their stuff off the side of the cruise ship
She go to
into
jail?
the ocean.
She go to jail.
She also went to boat jail.
Good.
Yeah. I was like, God, this is terrible. I will never go on a cruise ship again. It was Cassidy's idea to do that,
You
and I
know
was like,
how many
okay,
cruise ships have been on?
good. It's not worth it.
Your
It was
mom's-
fun. Don't get me wrong. We had a lot of fun, but
I
it's
know.
not worth it.
Here's the thing. I don't like big crowds that are enclosed.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of people that just want to eat 10 meals a day is dangerous.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of retards.
A bunch of retards, and your quarters are closed. So to me, any kind of virus, anybody who's sick out of those thousands of people, it has nowhere to go, and you're
Yeah.
gonna get it.
Yeah, you're
on the
gonna
ship.
get sick.
It's like
100
being in an airplane. They say, "Oh, we got the filter, so you're not gonna get sick," and then you got people on the airplane going.
Yeah, they don't
and
cover
then
their
you
mouth.
come back, and then you got some weird virus. Your mom was sick coming back from London. She was sick last year when she came back from London. You got something when you came back from Scotland.
Yeah, it's like guaranteed you're gonna get sick.
Well, everything comes from England. That's why I never want to go there.
You
I
think
wanna stay
everything?
here.
You think all illnesses
I
come
think
from
everything
England?
comes from England from the plane, and it comes over here, and then it spreads all over here.
Oh.
That's what I think.
That's a hot take.
It's
I like
yeah,
it.
I don't want to go over there. Somebody looked at me and they go, "Where have you been?" And I go, "I'm the only one in my family. All my sons and my wife, she's been all over the world. My sons have been to Europe." And they go, "What about you?" And I go, "No." I go, "Someday it might happen, it might not. I'd like to go to Norway.
Yeah.
And I would like to go there for like a month or 2 weeks or something, like make it worthwhile. And maybe I'd catch and then see England because I'm so close. But I go, if it doesn't happen, I don't care. They go, "Where have you been?" And I go, "Mexico and Canada and the Western United States." And they go, "Do you want to go to East Coast?" And they go, "No." "Do you want to go to New York? Do you want to go to Washington, D.C.?" And they go, "No." "Do you want to go to Missouri? Do you want to go to Louisiana? Do you want to go to..." "No." "Have you been to Texas?" "Yeah. Texas was cool. I like Texas." The Western United States, from Texas over, up to the border, I've been to all the states. And you know what? There's no prettier state, in my opinion, than Washington.
Yeah.
And there's no better state behind Washington than Oregon. And then Northern California is pretty cool, but it's almost a little too dry for me. I like it. I like the Shasta and I like Lassen. I don't like Southern California. They got nice sandy beaches, but they got 1 billion people.
Yeah,
You got
screw
to
that.
build 20 million people in LA, that valley. 20 million people. There's 5 million in the town. They got all these suburbs around there. It's 20 million people. That's 3 times our state population in this one giant valley. That's a desert. And yeah, it's 80 degrees down there and it's wonderful. And the beaches are white sandy, but good luck getting to them because you're not going to get to them. You're going to be stuck in traffic all the day. Just worse than Seattle. Not going
And then when you
anywhere.
finally get there, you're probably surrounded by a bunch of tards that are just
And
drunk
then
and
people
like.
are polluting the beach
Yeah,
because they have
throwing
chemicals
garbage.
go in there and
Oh.
garbage. Yeah.
When people are litter bugs, that makes me so angry.
Well, look at the way Washington has our coast, where we took you to Claylock. That's part of the park. You can't drive on the beach on the north end, and you can't drive at Claylock, but you can at Ocean Shores in the southern part. So people are drunk, they're getting oil leaking all over the beach. And to me, I think it's wrong. I think you can walk along the beach and you should be able to enjoy it. So I like Claylock all the way up to Nia Bay and the northern part of the peninsula. It's beautiful, and you have to hike. Remember when we did the triangle hike? We went down to Cape Alava, and you and I and Ted, your mom, we had the 3 days, and we camped at Cape Alava. We had to hike, and we had to earn it.
Yeah.
And that beach will never be ruined because people are too lazy to hike 3 miles to go down there.
That's true.
And that's
Keeps
a
all
good-
the
that's
lazy
part of the
pieces
park.
keeps all the pieces of shit away.
No, they do. So our beach is like what it was hundreds of years ago. So when you and I
Damn.
and your brother were body surfing at Claylock in our safe little zone by the creek, we had lots of fun. That water is about as pure water as you're going to get because that's the Pacific. You know,
Yeah.
it's about as clean as you're ever going to get. Now California has all these chemicals leaking into their warmer water because they have 20 million people, and then they have 10 million people up by San Francisco, and it's cool down there, but then so many people ruin it for me. I like to, that's why I like the big island of Hawaii. There's 50,000 people in Hilo, and there's 50,000 people that live in Kona on the other side, and there's really nothing. But the problem is the best beaches are on the Kona side because it's got a shelf. On the Puna side, it drops down 20,000 feet. So the
Yeah.
currents there are nasty, and you can be slammed into basalt rocks that are going to cut your body up. So, but where you're at in Maui, you're on a nice shelf where your resort is. So you guys can go out there. There's lots of coral reefs. They're different colors. The fish, when you snorkel. Well, didn't you borrow the mask when you guys went with us to the Big Island and we were at Hilo in that little pond? There's fish swimming around all over the place.
Yeah, I think so.
So you're going to see the same thing in Maui, but you don't have to go out there and risk anything. You just stay right close to the beach and you'll see all the blue fish, green fish, red fish.
You sound like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, green fish, red fish, blue fish, yellow fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's these little colorful little creatures. So, yeah, you guys all have fun. But that's my motto. But just keep that saying for me. Men are logical, men are responsible. Women tend to be generally irresponsible. And they won't say they're sorry for stuff. Like your mom will never really say she's sorry. Everything's always my fault, but she won't be accountable for things, and then she won't be logical about things like, well, why do you want to do that? That's going to cost us a lot more money. Why don't we do this and save money? If we stay at the Claylock campground and you and I are going to sleep good in the van, it's $12 a night because I'm a senior. I got the senior pass, so instead of 24, I'm spending $12 to look at the ocean at the bluff. Or I could stay in the cabin now, which has gone up to $400 a night.
Oh, 400 a night?
Yeah, when you were a little kid and we were going there, guess how much we got it for?
$100.
$100 a night. And that was
Damn.
okay. That was all right. I could deal with that. And so we stayed there a lot. Now I checked into it and it went up to $500 a night.
That's insane.
And so I'm saying, well, Gretchen,
Is it the
$500
same?
a night
It's
at the
the
cabin.
same. It's the same cabin, right?
It's the same cabin, $500 a night now when you add everything up, or $12.
Well,
And
they
they're
must
a
have.
block
They must
away.
have upgraded something in the cabin.
No, they're the same cabin as when you were a kid. There's nothing different.
Oh my God! 5 times the price.
Yeah, 5 times the price. So when you're a family and you're trying to be economical, what we worked out, because we were just on my income, your mom came up with a brilliant idea. We'd camp out the first 3 or 4 days there, right, at the campground. So we saved a lot of money. And then I splurged and got the cabin for us the last 2 days. And that's what we did. So we had the roughing it, camping out, right? And then we spent 2 days in the cabin where I'd pay the big money. But $100 wasn't bad. I could live with that. But now I'm thinking, would I spend 500 for that? No way. I mean, you're sleeping there for the day, and then you check out the
500
next
bucks
day.
is insane.
And I was like, ouch.
That's
Especially
so
now that I'm
nuts.
retired, I can't afford to.
Kalaloch
throw
is
500.
all the way west, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
it's the
all the
very
way west.
far west of Washington.
Yep, it's
It's like
the middle of the Washington coast. You got the southern part where people can drive, Ocean Shores, Hoquiam, Aberdeen, all that down by Olympia. That's all. People like that. They got more things for young people to do. They got bowling alley. You know, they got things to do, kind of. But the beach isn't as nice as Kalaloch. Kalaloch is showtime, but a lot of people don't like the isolation of that. They like, well, I don't have a store close by. It's 40 miles to the north at Forks. Your brother went with me to Kalaloch, and I said, Ted, here's what we're going to do. I bought the groceries at the store at Forks before we got down there, and I said, buy your food here. And he didn't. And then we were camping, and I had all the food I bought, right? And I bought some for him. So, and then he goes, well, I wanted to get this. And I go, Ted, I told you, on our way down at Forks, now we got to go 40 miles up to the store to get your stuff and 40 miles back to Kalaloch. And I go, we could have just gotten it first on the way in, and then you'd have plenty
oh
of
no,
food.
did you have to go back because he was hungry? Oh my God,
And
Ted!
he looks at me and he goes, Dad, I see
Ted.
what, he goes, he started realizing what I was talking about. He goes, I go, that's an hour up to get the groceries, an hour back to our campground when we could have got it like I did on the way down. I got all the groceries for you and me, and you didn't get them when we were stopped at Forks, and then we got to the campground. He goes, I should have got some more. Let's go back. And I go, now you're costing me 80 miles for nothing. We just passed that on the way down.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, I was a maggot to Ted.
I was telling the story about.
He liked it.
I was telling the story about Stewart Lake when Teddy finally got to the top because he had drank like a 6-pack of pop, and when he finally got to the top of Stewart Lake, you're like, "All right, boys, we're here." How he just laid in the bushes. He's like, "I give up." He's like, "I don't care anymore." And then like 100 mosquitoes. I remember
We're biting him.
just
all
started
over.
landing all over him. They were
He
just
didn't care.
feasting.
He didn't
There was
care.
like 10 mosquitoes on his face, just feasting blood off of his face. I'm like, oh my God, Ted, get up. He's like, I don't care. He's like, I'm tired. There's just like 10 to 20 mosquitoes just feasting on him, and he's like just staring into the
Oh,
sky.
I take partial blame for that because we were set to go, and it happened to be the Nixon family reunion. So I said, well, just go real quick, eat some regular food, you guys, but don't be drinking a bunch of pop. Teddy was addicted to pop. So he drank about 24 pops, and then it just exploded in him on our hike. You were fine because you ate normal food, but Teddy was so loaded on pop, he exploded. And then he had diarrhea all night, and he was squatting over there, and then he came in my tent, and he goes, Dad, I don't know what happened. I go, the problem is you drank like 24 cans of soda. That's the worst thing you could drink before you go on a hike. Your stomach's all upset. Yeah.
I remember he was crying too. He's like, I'm having such a bad time because
Yeah.
he was. I remember he was pooping outside of the tent. It was just,
Yeah.
I remember seeing
all
like
night long.
I remember just seeing
Just squats all over.
yeah. I remember just seeing a river of
Puddle of poop
from your
everywhere.
tent. I was like, ew.
He'll never forget that for the rest of his life.
Poor Ted. Poor Ted.
But he came in from your tent and he came in mine and he goes, and I go, Dad, I tried to warn you. I said, we eat the garbage food when we come back from the hike. I'm going to take you to the pizza place. We're all going to pig out after the hike, but we don't eat junk food before the hike. That is a big mistake. And I have made that when I was a teenager. I did it.
I still do that.
And that was a mistake. I'd eat a whole bunch of bacon and I'd be all greased out and then I couldn't hike up anywhere. I just had an upset stomach and felt like throwing up. My favorite was Steve McDaniel, my college buddy. We were all smoking pot back then. And so he's such a junkie for his pot, right? So we smoke some pot and then we hike up this 3,000 feet up to, what was it called? Lake Blaucup. It was a hard hike. So we're hiking up there, and about halfway up, I'm with my other college buddies. He just looks at me and he goes, I'm sick. And we're halfway up there, and we've climbed like 2,000 feet out of the 4,000, and he just pukes all over the trail. And then he looks at me and he goes, I'm okay, I can make it. So we hike up, and then we've hiked like 10 miles. We're out in the middle of nowhere, right? And so he looks at me and he goes, oh my God. And he goes, I forgot my pot down in the car. And I look at him and I go, oh, you can live with that. We have a little bit, so you'll be fine. And we're going to leave tomorrow. And he goes, no. And he hikes 10 miles down to the car to get a little tiny bud of pot that he left in his truck.
Oh,
and he
my.
hikes back up at night with his headlamp, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. He goes, I got it. And I go, jeez, dude.
And they say weed isn't addictive.
Yeah.
Dude, like 10 miles to get one little
He's like,
bowl of weed. I got it. I got it.
He's my buddy. I go, I'll never let you live that down. And now he's got his family. His son graduated from college, and his daughter's like, he adopted his daughter, and his wife's Chinese, and he's totally straight. He doesn't do drugs or anything anymore. And I saw him about 5 years ago, and we were chatting, and he goes, please don't tell my wife about some of the stuff that I did. And I go, well, you're the one that got us to try LSD the first time at college. You're the one that corrupted us because you're a year older, and you ruined our lives. And he liked it. He just looked at me and they go, do you remember when you went down to get your truck? And he goes, yeah, that was pretty pathetic days.
Oh my God, so I don't think I can share it because it's just a little bit.
He comes back at 2 o'clock in the morning, wakes us up, and he goes, look, I got a little bit more. And I go, we had enough. We
Dang,
didn't
he
have a
hiked
lot.
10 miles back.
Yeah,
Was it 10 there and then 10?
back.
So he hiked 10 with you guys,
Yeah.
hiked another 10, so he hiked 30 miles.
Just to get weed, he hiked another 20 just to get a little tiny bit of weed from his car.
Oh my God.
And I go, dude.
That's pathetic. That's the most pathetic thing I've ever heard. Oh my God. What a loser.
Oh, there's a lot of great stories back then. We had so many. It was wild times, but like I said, you're younger, and then you're in that zone, and then you get a little older, and you realize what's important. And once I got hired on at the post office, things had to change. You know, I realized I had a job that was going to provide me to raise my family, and you guys were the priority. Yeah, I'd smoke a little tiny bit of pot here and there, and I would drink a little bit with my friends, but I never got outrageous, because if I ever got a DUI, I would lose my job as a carrier.
Yeah.
They take that pretty seriously when you work for the government. Hey! Now she's happy. I don't know. What happened to her?
I don't know. I think she had a tummy ache.
Did you change your diaper?
No, but she didn't. Her diaper was fine. She just had a tummy ache.
Oh, yeah, she probably had gas, right? Built up. Or tummy ache. She's sure getting a lot of hair on her head now. I like the little curl you made on the top of her head.
Yeah, I like styling her hair in a mohawk.
Magnolia Lou Hoo.
Yeah.
Lou Sue Hoo. Cindy Lou Hoo Hoo Hoo.
That invention with the little chair that bounces like that has been around since you guys were little. So, and the same thing with the chair with the rocking that's got the little things that spins around. Those are timeless. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of all the baby tech.
Yeah.
We've thought of it, almost all of it.
I don't think we heated up the bottles for the baby for you guys.
You never heated the baby bottle?
I don't think we did.
Dang. I wish I didn't have to heat it up. It's really annoying. Because sometimes she's really hungry and screaming, and I'm like, oh god.
And then it takes a while to heat it up, right?
Yeah, it takes like, you have to wait 5 minutes while she's just like,
Look at her, she's looking at you like,
Hi. Sorry. Sorry.
Did this exist when you were?
yeah,
Oh, cool.
we had it for you and your brother, just like that one. Not exactly, but pretty much the same thing, and the same thing like we had the chair like that one, the little rocker with the things that'll go around.
Yep.
So did Cassidy get home 6?
She gets off work at 6.
So
I
it
think
takes
she
her a
clocks
while to
out
get-
at. I think she clocks out at 6.
And then she takes her a while to get home. It's a long drive from Redmond, right?
Kinda. It's like a
Probably.
half hour, probably.
45 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
Traffic's-
So she typically gets home between like 6:30 and 7,
Mm,
which kind of sucks, but
yeah, that's the way it goes.
she wanted to stay home, be a stay-at-home mom, which I like the idea of that, but with my current job, I can't afford the expenses, so that's why we have to both work.
Well, no matter how you slice it, when you become new parents, trying to work it out, it's tough. Like I said, my income was it when your mom was watching you guys when you were little, and it was tough, but it was worth the sacrifice.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy, but we made it happen. And
Yeah.
I'm glad we worked it that way. So I think you guys should try to avoid the daycare, because I'm probably not going to go, and I can pick up a slack for a day for you, so you don't
Yeah,
have to pay money.
that'd be nice.
That's a waste of time.
I mean, we're already signed up.
Am I is yeah, but you can cancel on them. How many days are you going to do it?
Probably, hopefully, just 1 day a week at most.
Oh, that's not too horrific, but if you get too much, it will
But-
suck money out of you guys.
Yeah, it's like 150 a day,
Yeah. right.
which is like, damn. Yeah, I wish.
So what
I,
day do you have signed up? Which day is it going to be? Or you haven't determined that yet? Because her days are going to, yours are going to change.
Well, I haven't. I don't know when my days are changing. They need
Oh.
to figure it out. I need to be like,
Did
hey
they
guys.
tell you that
they-
they are going to be
They're-
changing?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I might keep the same. If my coworker, if he keeps his same work week, then I get to keep my work week.
Right.
But if he wants weekends off, because he just got promoted to manager,
Oh.
so now he kind of gets first dibs on if he wants weekends because he's a manager. You know,
Oh,
like
I see.
obviously he's earned it.
Right.
He's been through the ringer at that place. So
How old is he?
exactly my age.
That's cool.
Yeah, he looks like Gordon Lightfoot.
I like it.
I don't know if you've seen him.
No,
Andrew.
I haven't, but
Andrew,
I think he does look
if you
like
go in there, you'll laugh because he looks like he reminds me of Gordon. He's got like the
curly
kind of
hair.
80s curly hair sort of
Yeah.
look. I really like it. He's got a good head of hair. No homo.
So why don't you? I'd consider because I thought you'd get health insurance if you stay on there.
I do.
So that'll be good.
I do have benefits, but the wage isn't high enough. So I'm thinking about going back to Insight and doing like maintenance work.
Insight was the one.
It's the one I worked where I was working at Woodinville.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever? Oh, I never had you guys
I-
come up there.
We went up there, but we didn't see you working. But we know where you were at.
Yeah.
Well, Cassidy has connections for that, right?
Yeah. So a maintenance tech.
How much you get an hour there?
Well, I probably wouldn't go back to District Flats, but the position it's in Kirkland. There's a property in Kirkland, and the starting wage is like 25. That's significantly more than I'm making now. I'm only making 20, which is like yikes. It's close, but
Yeah, so to be honest with you, like once I got seniority in the post office, I was making probably 40 an hour, right?
yeah.
But the reality was, what was I taking home after my pension, my social security, my taxes,
Yeah, after everything gets
all my
peeled apart.
benefits was taken out of it. It came out to, once everything was stripped away from my benefits from it, it came out to 25 bucks an hour.
Damn.
And that wasn't like super glamorous, but it was, is people told me at 25 bucks an hour net. So yeah, I make a lot more than that, but everything got sucked away from my pension, you know,
Yeah,
Social
yeah.
Security, all
Well,
that
that's pretty
stuff.
good though overall.
Yeah, so it was.
But it
worked
must have
out.
sucked to look at your paychecks that you're getting at that time and be like, oh God, I'm only making this much.
Yeah,
And like all the other
but
money's
so
coming.
if I was during the good years of the post office when you and your brother were kids, I got a lot of overtime for half the year. So I was making more like 35 an hour when I was getting the overtime. But that disappeared in the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years of my career. It just dried up, so there was nothing there. So, but that's okay. I mean, I already put in my time, so I knew I wanted to get out when I was younger.
Yeah,
I
don't know if I ever told you, but thanks for all the sacrifices you made.
Well, it was worth it for you guys, and you know, you got to do what you can. Sometimes it's not easy, but the worst time is when your kids are younger and you're trying to figure out all this stuff. But your mom and I figured out that having her work at daycare just didn't equate.
Yeah. Well, Dad, you're the best dad I could have ever asked for.
Yeah, well, I
You
appreciate
did
it.
such an awesome
You guys
job.
are the best sons I could have ever asked for. You guys have turned out to be fine young men. I'm very proud of you. No matter what you do, and you'll figure it out. But if you can get something with a union, you'll make $5 more an hour, and you'll have workers' rights, and then you'll get a pension thrown in when you retire. That'll make everything much easier. Because without my pension, I'd be making $2,000 like your mom does a month. But with my pension, I'm making $3,000 a month. That is net, and that's pretty good. That's all right. It's not great, but it's
pretty good.
It's doable.
No, that's pretty good.
I'm making $3,000 a month right now, clean, net, for doing nothing.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
pretty darn good.
And actually, if I wasn't paying your mom's health insurance and mine and was a total dirtball, I'd probably be making about 3,700 clear. But I prefer to have health insurance for your mom and me, even though I don't use it for anything. They keep
Yeah,
calling
but
me
it's
up.
good. It's a good safety net.
It is a good safety net. They call me up and they said, well, they're bugging me because I just got on Medicare, and they go, we want you to come in and find out your home testing and find out all the drugs you're on at 65. And I go, I'm not on anything. And they go, what? And they go, when's the last time you've been to the doctor? And I go, I went because I got COVID about 4 years ago. And other than that, I went to my checkups, and my checkups came out that I was healthier like a 40-year-old instead of a 60-year-old. And so, what do you want me to do? I'm just going to keep doing what I do because I don't really trust the medical health care. It's a business. And they
Yeah.
want to get you on all these prescription stuff, and they want to get you sick with diabetes so you'll spend hundreds of dollars a month for their medication, which doesn't treat the cause, it just treats symptoms, which is no way to live. And your mom was like, well, I wish we didn't have stairs. And I go, you know what, Gretchen, if I can't go up and down stairs in this house, at either house, just shoot me. I go, you know, I think it's good that I'm able to go up and down stairs, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to just be in a flatlander and just get lazy. So stairs are good. Just shoot me.
I like that line. If
Just-
I can't go up the stairs in my
just
own
shoot-
house, just shoot me dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
how I
my
feel
friends,
about.
my friends like it because they understand where I'm coming from because they're my age. They look at me and they go, "Wow, man, you don't have diabetes? Don't you have this? Don't you have that? Don't you have heart problems?" And I go, "No, I have nothing." And they go, "Well, we have to get medication and this and that." And I look at them and go, "Well, you're falling into the trap. I don't trust modern medicine. Now, if I need it, I will go to the doctor for something."
Yeah,
I get
like
a
if you're in like
bacterial infection and I've got strep throat and it's not getting better, I'll go to the doctor and get some antibiotics, but I'm not going to eat them like candy, and I'm not going to take a bunch of stuff because back in the 70s and 80s, when I first started at the post office, it was more hospital was a good thing. They were good doctors and they weren't all tied into pharmaceuticals like they are now. And now it's gotten into a business. So if you have something major happen to you, let's say you're a millionaire and you got $1 million saved up for your retirement. If you have something bad happen to you, they will take every last bit of your money, if you have money, and leave you broke. And I don't think modern medicine in the United States should ever be that way. I think you worked hard, you got medical insurance, it should cover this stuff for you. But mine was 90% when I started. So when I had my climbing accident, it was like $1 million. I only had to pay like $10.
Whoa, your hospital bills. So your insurance back then covered 90%,
Yeah.
and so you only had to pay like a small fraction. But your
about $100.
but your fee, but the fee for the hospital was like $1 million from when you fell in the mountain.
And they covered everything because I had Blue Cross for you guys and for me the first 25 years. But what happened with my union is people complained in the private sector that the federal government had the best. Well, we're the federal government, so we had the best. And so
Yeah, I mean,
then
it kinda makes
we
sense.
lost our 5% every 5 years.
Oh,
So then it got down from 95% to 75%. So if you had something major, if you had something minor happen to you, okay, no big deal, right? If you had something major, let's say if it cost me $1 million, all of a sudden I'm responsible now for 250,000,
maybe more.
maybe more, and I don't have that money. I'm reserved, so they would take it from me, whatever I had, and I'd have nothing.
And
I'd
you'd just
broke.
be zero forever.
Yeah,
until
right.
You die,
And then they
basically.
don't. So our medical system, what's happened in the last, I would say 30 years, where, especially the last 20, it's become a business. And
Yeah.
I think that sucks. It should be like what it was when I first started the post office. All the doctors were not pushing prescription drugs. They believed in diet and exercise. They were the real doctors back then. Now they're like, "Oh, you feel bad today? Let me give you some antidepressant that's going to make you get suicidal and kill somebody and shoot somebody. You're going to have side effects where you might have a stroke. This will cure your depression, but you might get weird and want to shoot people. You might want to go crazy and just start shooting people."
Oh man.
Or the side effects are you could have a stroke from this medicine if it goes wrong, or you could have a heart attack and die. Well, sorry, these are the 100 side effects of this one drug you're taking to eliminate one little part of a human problem. And so now if you watch TV and you watch the ads like I do, every ad is, anything wrong with you. We're humans. We go up and down. We don't feel happy every day. We get sad, we get happy. It's called being a human. Well, they're just saying anytime you feel off, that you should feel great all the time, take this drug and you'll feel better. Well, then you've got 100 side effects from the drug. And so that's why I've gone to natural medicine. And I don't even take antibiotics. I take grapeseed extract from my natural antibiotic when I start getting a bug, and that knocks it out without side effects. So I think diet and exercise is something that has gone away from our society, and people don't take that seriously, and people are lazy, and they drive everywhere to go to the grocery store. And look at me, when you and I walk over to grocery outlet, that's the best thing you and I could do. Just go for a little walk. It's not that far, but it's good for us. I love
Yeah.
carrying my little sacks of groceries back and forth.
I think it's up for
I
debate.
don't have to get in my car and go anywhere.
I think it's up for debate, but I heard walking is better than running.
It is better, especially
'Cause
you
it's
see
lower
you're young.
impact.
You're young, so it's not going to matter for you. But for your mom and I, our knees are old and brittle, so walking is better because running is going to make our knees worse. So I'm not running like I used to. I just walk, and I think walking is something that even when you get older, and I get to be 75 and 80, I'm going to try to do what I can to walk. And if that's all I can do, that's all I can do. And that walking is good. I like walking around. I get up. When I was on the Olympic Peninsula, I was walking around at 5 o'clock in the morning, and Gary Burnside is now 80, and John's 75, and the other guy's 75, and they go, we slept until 8, and we have poor health problems. All of them are whining about being old, and they go, what'd you do? And I go, when I get up and I'm at a place, I like to walk in the morning, and you guys were sleeping until 8, so I've been walking around the whole park and walking down by the creek and the river on these trails, and they just look at me and they go, why would you do that? And I go, because it's fun for me. I like to walk. But you guys were sleeping in, so I just walked by myself. Weren't you afraid of a cougar? And I go, no, Tarzan's not afraid of a cougar. He's the
Bro.
lord of the temperate forest.
Yeah, you're Sasquatch.
I'm Sasquatch.
You're the king of the forest.
Yeah, I saw a cougar when I was in the Olympic National Park. It ran off. It saw me. It was getting a drink of water, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and then he just ran off. And then he said, why did you see a cougar and we didn't? I go, because you guys, the animals come down early in the morning to get water. They need water. So that's the time you see wildlife is like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. And most of them, the real stealth ones, will come down at 2 or 3, get their water because they want to avoid humans. But this cougar, for some reason, was getting a drink at about 4:45 in the morning. And then I happened to walk by the trail and I saw him after he got his drink, and he looked at me for a second, and then he goes, I don't want anything to do with you. I freaked him out. He must have been thinking, is this a Sasquatch or what? The thing's not showing any fear. He's just staring right back at me, giving him the stare down. So that's for most of the animals in the wild, when you stand your ground, and they can, the bears can sense fear, like dogs can. So you don't want to show any fear at all. You just want to hold your ground and stare them down. Except for a grizzly, they don't fear anything. They don't fear man, so you have to show them respect. Probably not stare at them. Stare at the ground and go about your separate way, and don't irritate them.
Yeah.
The grizzly is a different animal altogether.
I told somebody on my little YouTube streams.
Uh,
I told them the story about how when you were a kid you threw an apple.
and the bear charged me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was scary.
That's a great story.
I was like 12 years old. I was dumb. I figured he'd be like the horse. He'd just eat the apple. And I didn't throw it right at him. It bounced way in front of him. But then he charged, and I thought, he's going to eat the apple. And I'm standing next to the fence. And then I go, damn, he's moving fast. About 40 miles an hour, and he's coming right towards me. So I climbed over the fence on the other side. And then he was up over the 6-foot fence by 2 feet. And he was like 1,000 pounds, and he was like 8 feet tall, standing up, and he was just growling, and he was just looking at me. And I was like, I'm dead. I'm just like, this fence is the only thing that's stopping. It's like a stalemate.
Yeah.
And then the rancher whistled, and he goes, I've seen this grizzly here before. And he whistled, and his German shepherds came out, like 4 of them, and surrounded him like a wolf pack and barked at him, and then he ran off. And then I was like, oh my God, I learned a valuable lesson at 12 years old. And I saw some when your mom, when we were in Montana by the Canadian border, I saw one, she was sleeping in the van till 8. I went for a walk around the lake and I saw one and he saw me, but he was probably about, I don't know, 75 yards away from me. He saw me and I saw him, and then I just kind of calmly ignored him and walked, and then he went back to eating because I didn't threaten him. Kept my distance from him, and I thought, okay, I'm not gonna egg you on. But yeah, general rule, I don't like camping in grizzly bear country unless I have the camper van, because that's like a tank.
Yeah.
We did have one run by the camper van. Your mom was sleeping, and one ran right through the brush, right next to the camper van, and it ran right by it. And your mom goes, "What was that?" And I go, "Just a deer." And then she told me later, she goes, "What was it really?" And I go, "It was a grizzly bear. I just don't want you to get upset." But I go, "He just ran right next to the van." But I go, "You're safe in the van. It's like a tank." So I feel pretty secure when I'm sleeping in the van. And then people have always asked me, they go, don't you fear the animals?" I go, "No, I really don't. I fear people more than animals."
You fear
Deliverance
people-
guys come out of the woods and go with no teeth and go, "Squeal like a pig."
Oh, I
Remember
have a,
that movie you watched?
Yeah,
with me?
Deliverance. Yeah.
Wasn't that Scaria?
I have a deliverance moment that I never told you.
What
We were going
happened?
to disc golf at night at
Uh-huh.
Blythe Park.
And there was some.
So we snuck into the park and we brought glow sticks to attach to our disc to throw. We
Right.
put lights in the basket so we could see the basket. at the end.
Nice.
This guy comes up. He's like, we're smoking weed at the first hole, and then this guy walks up and he says, "Hey, yeah, you guys got some weed? Could I smoke some?" And we're like, "Sure, whatever, dude." So we
Okay.
smoke him out a little bit. He's like, "Do you think I could get some?" And my friend's the one who had it, and he's like, "Nah, like this is my personal stuff. Like I'm not really trying to sell it." He's like, "I got this lighter." He's like, "It's still like half full." He's like, "Could you give me some?" And he's like, "No, dude. Like I don't want to give you any more." He's like, "Ah, damn." He's like, "Well, could I disc golf with you guys?" And we're like, we were just all kind of off put. He was just acting really weird, and we were like, yeah, sorry, man. It's kind of a private group thing going on. He's like, "Oh yeah, for sure." And so we play 7 holes, and it gets to the point where it's like, from Blythe Park where it goes into Wayne's golf course by that
Right.
fence that divides
I
them.
know what you're talking
We get down there, and that's hole 7. All of a sudden, this guy comes out of the bushes. He's like, "Hey, you guys sure you don't want to give me some weed?" And we're all like, I see him talking to my friend who has the weed. He's like, "No, dude, like, it's personal. Like, I don't want to give any. This is what I'm using. Like, I'm not giving it away." He's like, "Oh, come on, man." He's like, "Come on, I got ham in the woods." He's like, "I got this ham in the woods where I'm, like, camped out." He was camped out in the park. And he said he had ham that he would trade. He wanted to barter ham for weed. Mystery. And Devin always made the joke. Devin wasn't there, but he was like, "Yeah, that's how Black Forest ham was made." But the guy offered ham for weed, like mystery ham from the woods, to try to get some weed. And we were like, "Dude, what the hell?"
Yeah, it's
Like-
kind of creepy. Steve, my hiking buddy from college, we went all over. He's probably my best hiking buddy. We went all over the state. So he takes me up to Snoqualmie out in the back, just way out in the middle of nowhere, right? So we get out there and I go, "Okay, so we'll go out there and check it out." So we get out to the end of the road, and there's like 20 guys that are like hillbillies living in their tents out there, and they have a bunch of dogs that are barking and running around, and they're just living out there. And then Steve looked at me and he goes, "What do you think?" And I go, "Steve, there's like 20 guys. They look like hillbillies. There's no women out here. I think we should leave." And then he turned his truck around. He goes, "Yeah, it kind of gave me a deliverance feeling. Just 20 guys with no teeth, and they're like long hair. And
Come hang out.
come and hang out with us. There's no women here, but
We'd like to have you squeal like a pig.
It's really gross.
It is gross. It's creepy though. I mean, you get a sense, you get a feeling. I'm pretty good at reading people, but these guys were definitely lonely, and they were out there living for the summer out there in their little canvas tent.